Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Road to Champion. For those of you that don't know, this is a series where each episode we take a different skill / mechanic and train it for 2 hours over 5 days and see how it impacts my rank and gameplay. Last time we were able to reach Diamond 3 and we're now very close to getting to Champion. Today we're going to be training Dribbling and seeing if I can finally develop some useful attacking skill. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. So just like in the previous video, I followed a tutorial to learn how to dribble properly. The tutorial was split into 5 segments with increasing difficulty. The first segment was pretty straightforward. Just put the ball in the back of the net from this position, only using the gas, not using boost or brakes 5 times in a row. This was pretty easy and straightforward. The only hard part was that the ball kept falling in front of my car since I couldn't use boost to catch up to it. But after about 30 minutes, I got it done. Next part was basically the same thing, just this time you use boost to speed up, and when you get to the middle of the pitch you tap the brake button and then continue to use boost until you get the ball in the back of the net. Once again 5 times in a row. It took me a little bit of time to figure out how to use the brake button, since if you press it even for a little bit too long the ball will fall off of your car. Nonetheless, after I got that figured out, it was a piece of cake, and within 30 minutes I completed this part too. The third segment was where things got very difficult. Basically the ball was a little bit off center, which meant that you had to turn your car in order for it not to fall. And let's just say, this proved to be much more difficult than I anticipated. It took me a good 20 minutes before I even got 1 goal, and by the end of the hour I still wasn't able to get any consecutively, so I'll have to return to it tomorrow. Unsurprisingly, in terms of my games, I wasn't pulling off any insane flicks or anything. My gameplay was basically unchanged, not that I was expecting anything else after just 1 day of training. Overall, we played a total of 6 games, going 3-3, staying in the same division. On day 2, the carrying of the ball while turning felt much better, and it didn't take long until I was able to put the ball in the back of the net many times in a row. It still took me quite a long time, but I was able to make it 5 times consecutively. I'm not even sure what changed in my dribbling, but somehow my brain just managed to figure it out, since a lot of it is just muscle memory. Next up was doing the exact same thing, just this time adding a little bit of boost and trying to be a bit faster. This was honestly pretty easy, since adding boost meant that I could catch up to the ball before it fell in front of my car, and I was just about able to make the 5 shots in a row before the 2-hour timer ran out. Unfortunately, my games didn't go nearly as well. I had some pretty bad luck and me and my teammates just never really got each other. On top of that, I felt sloppy and wasn't as in control of the game as I would have liked to have been. At the end of the day, we played a total of 5 games, going 1-4 and moving down to Diamond 2 Division 4. On day 3, I started practicing the catches in the training pack. Overall, there are around 14 different situations where in each you simply have to catch the ball on top of your car and carry it to the goal. With each shot, I tried to complete it at least a couple of times to fully get the hang of things, and so that I know that the first attempt wasn't just luck. Surprisingly, this was actually much easier than I thought it would be. With each shot, you basically stay in ball cam until you hit the ball and then turn off ball cam and adjust your car so that the ball falls somewhere near the middle of it. Ideally, you want to control the ball a little in front of the middle of your car so that it doesn't just start bouncing too much. I was able to complete all the shots within the 2 hours, so I just spent the rest of the time practicing the ones I felt like were the hardest. When it came to my games, things definitely went a bit better than on the previous day. I'm still not able to pull off any sort of dribbling move, even though I tried going for some. It's just not really natural to think about going for them when I'm in a game, so I have to actively force myself to try them. Apart from that, I felt pretty good about my skill. We played a total of 6 games, going 4-2, staying in Division 4. So on day 4, I decided to practice one of the most important parts of any dribbling attack, the flick. To be honest with you, I actually expected this to be the easiest part of the entire process of dribbling, but oh boy was I wrong. I thought all you had to do was simply flip forward and the flick would happen, but unfortunately it's much harder than that. There are many different types of flicks, but I decided to stick to the most simple one for the remainder of the video, that being the front flick. Basically, what you're supposed to do is have the ball somewhere around this position and then jump, tilt backward a little bit and flip forward. It sounds rather simple, but it was actually quite difficult for me. I mainly had a problem with the speed of the ball when I jumped, since a lot of the times it just completely flew away from me, so it was rather rare for me to actually perform the flick the right way. The way I trained was basically the same as on day 3, just this time I tried adding a flick at the end of it. I did this for the entire 2 hours and then it was time for the games. Now, coincidentally, on day 4 the new season started, so I figured the best way to approach it was to split the 10 games into 5 for the last 2 days of this video. So on day 4 I played the first 5 placement matches. I didn't unfortunately get off to the best of starts, losing the very first 2 games. So in game 3 I knew that I had to do everything in my power to win. After one of the best performances in terms of goalkeeping for me, we thankfully managed to win this game. The 2 remaining games thankfully went good as well, and we managed to go 2-3 in the first 5 placement matches. On day 5 I continued with the same training that I did on day 4, basically just practicing the different catches and trying to do some sort of a flick at the end. I sort of realized that it would take a lot more time of training if I wanted to fully utilize the potential of dribbling moves in games. I tried going for them on the previous days, but I just realized that you have a lot less time in the actual games to control the ball and do everything else. That being said, this training has definitely helped me in other aspects of my game. For example, I'm now much better at simply predicting where the ball is gonna fall or how quickly, and it has also made me a lot better at being more precise and careful with the ball and overall being much less clumsy. So even though I'm no pro at dribbling now, I definitely don't feel like I wasted my time with this training at all. After the training was done, it was time to finish off the placement matches, and let's just say we finished them off quite strong. I just felt completely in control in these games, and my gameplay genuinely felt like it went up a level, all around. I don't know if training the dribbling has anything to do with this, but I feel really good about my skill currently. Overall, in the last 5 games, we went 4-1 and placed all the way in Diamond 3 Division 3, meaning that we're now closer than ever to champion. All of the days combined, we played a total of 27 games, going 15-12 and moving to Diamond 3 Division 3. Overall, even though I wasn't actually able to perform any sort of dribbling move in my games, I improved the most in terms of my rank. There's a chance that it could just be a coincidence and I just happened to get better, but I genuinely believe that the training had a very positive effect on my gameplay capabilities. I simply feel more comfortable and under more control in my games, and I think a part of that certainly is that dribbling training. Nonetheless, that's about everything I have for you today. We are getting very close to reaching champion, so if you don't want to miss the next episode, make sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. I'll see you all later. Bye!